All right, hi, welcome back to the channel. Today is a longer format video. I am doing something that I haven't really done before and I'm very excited about it. So you're gonna see for about 10 to 12-ish days me trying to stop my severe coffee addiction in the form of drive-thru coffees, which is a problem for me. I know that, I understand that, and I wanted to start this because I had a weight loss plateau. I was stuck for a really long time, like literally, I'm talking like I was stuck for over a month at the same weight, and it was stressing me out, and I was trying to figure out what things I could change to help me get over that. And this is the thing that I settled on. Helping me the most would be cutting out drive-thru coffees, cutting out those extra little bit of calories, cutting out some extra sugar, and basically just kind of kicking myself in the booty for being too soft with it, you know? So without further ado, here is 20 minutes of me not knowing how to shut the hell up and going on and on about coffee. So enjoy.
Good morning. It is Tuesday, April 22nd. I wanted to make another video here because I decided that I am going to force myself to stop getting any form of a drive-thru coffee because I have a little bit too much of an addiction to cold brews, and they are probably the easiest thing that I could ever possibly make at home. So that is what we're doing. This is going to be my challenge for the rest of the month of April, which I know doesn't seem like it's a big thing considering as of yesterday, right? Like when I decided I was going to do this, even though I had takeout coffee yesterday morning, I was like, wow, 9 whole days, Amanda, that's not that much of a challenge, but when I get it almost every single day, it is. So this is me not only making my coffee at home and saving time and calories and money, but money's the big one, but this is gonna be good for me, okay? I need this. I spend way too much money going to takeout coffee shops, and I think it's ridiculous how expensive it is for just a basic cup of cold coffee. So, without further ado, here we go.
This is the cold brew stuff that I got. I found it at my grocery store last night. I just wanted to try something really quick, but yeah, we're just gonna see how this works. And this is the Mateo's coffee syrup. This is the sugar-free thin vanilla. Just gonna do a little bit. That might have been a lot. Okay, I just poured this out into a measuring cup. I'm doing a 1/4 cup of it. I'm hoping that with the mixture, it tastes pretty close to a Starbucks like vanilla sweet cream cold brew, even though I'm not using as much as they would.
It's not bad. It does not taste remotely close to the cold brew, the vanilla sweet cream cold brew from Starbucks. For cold brew coffee made at home, this is pretty good. I will be taking this to work with me, and hopefully this is going to be getting me through the next couple of days of not going to drive-thru coffee places, because today is day 2 of cutting that out.
It's day 4. Today is April 25th. And I'm not gonna lie, this morning was real hard. I kept thinking about how easy it would be to just go to the drive-thru because it was a nightmare of a day, to say the very least. So it is now currently, let's see, 6:50 p.m. It's beautiful outside though, and we are having our coffee now. I will say this is getting a little bit easier. Every single time that I see Starbucks and I tell myself I can just go get that, I say, no, you don't need that. Why would you do that? You have coffee at home. So that is positive. That's a helpful thing for me, at least. Hello. It is Sunday. Yeah, Sunday, April 27th. Currently, I am in the park hanging out. My family is back there. We went to church and I did get drive-thru coffee, but I didn't pay for it. Leighton paid for it, my husband. So technically, I'm not counting that as me paying for it because he bought it. Still doing good by my accounts. Anyway, deuces. Hello, it is now April 30th. Today is the last day of this challenge that I did for myself here, and I'm feeling good. I didn't have any cold brew today. It is currently 4:30 p.m. Did not have any. I did make hot coffee this morning. I made hot coffee this morning, and there is still this much left of it. I'm a little bit wasteful today, but I made the mistake of I asked my husband to put it in a tumbler cup for me, and I cannot put this in the microwave. I don't have anything to microwave it with at work, so I will say, successfully so far. I have not been having issues with like the cravings. I know I keep saying this every day, but I feel like it's important because some days they hit you out of nowhere. Since I stopped going to the drive-thrus for coffee, I have noticed that I've also just not really been having as many cravings for coffee in general. And don't get me wrong, I'm still a coffee person. I do frequently have hot coffee in the morning. Still will have like a cup, like just a cup of hot coffee in the morning while I'm getting ready for stuff. But that's about it at this point. And I used to be a person where I would have 2 cups of coffee in the morning. I would be having some form of a caffeinated beverage midway through the day. In the afternoon, I would have another coffee, usually after work, and then in the evening with dinner or after, I would have another caffeinated beverage. So I definitely had a caffeine problem, for sure. And I would like to think I'm working on that. I'd like to think that I'm working on that, considering I haven't been really having as much at all. And let's see, aside from my half coffee that I had today, I have had water and I had a Diet Coke that I didn't even drink all of because I shared it. So, and it was just like the can of it. So I'm doing pretty good in my eyes right now, considering it's 5 p.m. and I don't feel like I'm dead and crashing, which was another thing for me, is I had very frequent caffeine like crashes, headaches and everything. So I would like to think that I'm getting over that. With that though, I would like to continue this for a little bit longer. I'm not putting myself on a time limit for it, like a certain amount of days, but I would just like to kind of continue this because it is nice not having the codependency of the caffeination and codependency to like Starbucks and stuff. It's nice not having that and having a little bit of extra cash left over at the end of the week for other stuff. So that's a positive. Granted, this is an expensive thing, so making it at home has definitely been helpful for me, which is always a good thing. So that's a plus. For right now, it doesn't look like I will be having any coffee for the rest of the day today. So last day of this, going strong. Cheers. I will be back. Bye. Okay, hi. It is now May 2nd. It is Friday. I still have my coffee. I actually did cold brew at home because I needed something this morning. I did not have coffee at all yesterday, other than the slight sip that I took in the morning, and then I left it on my table because forgetful, that's where we're at today. But I would like to point out that I am now officially done with my little end of the rest of the month challenge. Because I got coffee that one day, I went an extra day with not having it, and I didn't get it today obviously either. So I do think that this has been pretty helpful for me. I wouldn't say that I've completely kicked my drive-through coffee habit in the sense of, will I never go again? No, of course not. I will more than likely end up getting a drive-through coffee at some point in time, but it's not to the point of where it was before, where every single day I felt like I needed to go before work, like I had to make that time, or was pushing timelines so that way I could stop and go purchase coffee from a drive-thru and then wanting to still get one after work or whatever the time frame was. So I do think that that has been pretty helpful. I haven't had the itch to open up any of my ordering apps. I also haven't really just had the itch for coffee in general. I do go through kind of some spurts with that though, where like some days, like months, let's be honest, months, some months I'll be super invested and just like I want coffee all the time. Other months I switch and I'm like, maybe I just kind of want like an iced tea or a smoothie or something else. It is what it is, you know? So the point being, other than the one drive-through coffee order that my husband and I had together, I was pretty successful in not having coffee. Like I said, it's now May 2nd, so I extended it a little bit into May, and I guess we'll see how far I extend it to. But other than that, if you have these issues, I recommend also doing this, of just trying to challenge yourself for a week, a set amount of days, to not going and getting it. And if you do slip up, I'm not saying use it as an excuse to like be like, oh no, I messed up today, I can just start over again tomorrow and keep doing it. If you had one, be done with it, move on, try not to beat yourself up, but definitely don't get into the mindset of I can always just start tomorrow, because that is how I got to be 315 pounds. So let's not do that. I'm coming back to tell you that I just did the calculations for this. So for what I got, I always got a venti cold brew from Starbucks. I did the venti vanilla sweet cream cold brew, but I did it with the sugar-free syrup. And I usually would get this anywhere from 4 to 6 times a week, but usually about probably like 4 to 5. I guess it depended on how bad it was. But I work every single day for the most part, and I was getting coffee all the time. Even though this wasn't always just for me, sometimes I got stuff for my husband, sometimes I got like a little like a juice box or like milk or like a cake pop or something for my kid. Even just for myself, okay? So this is for 5 and 6 days a week. This is what I calculated, okay? So with what I'm spending, this, granted, I know taxes are different everywhere. I live in North Dakota, so like my taxes are definitely different than what's in like California or New York or something, right? But for me to get a venti cold brew from Starbucks, after tax is $5.72, okay? So me getting that 5 days a week puts me at $28.60 per week, okay? $30 a week on coffee, right? If I get it 6 days, that's $34.32. So anywhere from basically $28 to $35 a week on coffee. Every month I was spending somewhere between $115 to $140 on coffee for myself, which means every single year, if I were to do that, it would be anywhere from $1,380 to $1,656 that I was spending on freaking drive-through coffee, okay? This is the shit that I'm talking about. This is expensive. This is expensive. You know how people freak out and they're like, I can't afford to have a $20 gym membership, and don't get me wrong, I completely understand not everybody can afford those things. But you know how people freak out and they're like, I can't afford to pay $70 for a gym membership. I can't afford to pay this, that, and everything else. I can't afford to go buy my food in bulk or like do meal prep and this, that, because it's expensive. Eating at wherever, blah, 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 is significantly cheaper. No, it's not. No, it's not. This is a lie. Do you know what I could have done with an extra $1,600 this year? Just this year alone. It's May. Do you know what I could have done with that? You know what I could have done with that last year? Could have paid a lot more stuff off, okay? A lot more stuff could have been paid off. I could have had a lot more stuff in savings. I could have put that in like CD savings accounts, and I could be earning interest on that, right? I could be saving up more money. I could be putting that in all these different things. I could have taken a whole ass vacation for that. I could have taken a whole vacation for a week, depending on where I went. I could have taken a whole vacation for that. On freaking coffee, drive-through coffee, okay? This is some bullshit. My problem is the fact that it's so easy and convenient. It's so convenient. That's the problem, right? You know it's there. You know it's just a quick little button tap away, and that is what they want. That's the issue. They know that it's easy. They want to make it as easy as they possibly can, right? So you keep going back and you're like, oh, it's just a little treat for myself. What's $5 a day to make me happy? That's what it is, okay? Okay, you can't see this. It's my chicken scratch handwriting. That is $1,400 to $1,650 every year that I was spending. And that is just the baseline of just me, okay? That does not include me getting my husband's stuff. That does not include me getting stuff for my child. That doesn't include us doing all of those things. That is just coffee alone. That is not including anything else, like no other like takeouts, drive-thrus, no other like restaurants, situations, nothing along those lines. None of that else is included in that, which makes you wonder how much are we really freaking spending on all of this convenience style stuff? Because that's ridiculous. That's ridiculous. If anything is gonna stop me from doing all of this drive-through stuff, it is that, okay? That number right there, that's what's gonna stop me from spending all of this money. So I just figured everybody would like to know that. So do your own calculations, it's ridiculous. If you do your own calculations and you realize that you are also spending significantly way too much freaking money on these things, maybe we can all join together and convince people to lower the prices of stuff, but also maybe we will become significantly healthier people all together. So that's there. And don't get me wrong, I understand. It's one of those things, I get that people only have so much joy in life, okay? I understand that. I'm not trying to take that away. I understand that sometimes you just need a pick-me-up. I get it. But it's one thing if you're like, oh, I need this, or I want this. It's not even a need, right? Be like, oh, I want this because of these things. I'm celebrating because of this. I'm meeting somebody because of that, right? That's not what I'm saying. I'm not trying to take your happy little itty bitty thingies away from you. I'm not telling you you can never freaking go through a drive-through Starbucks again, okay? I am not saying that. I'm just simply saying us collectively in a weight loss space, if we are telling ourselves every single day that we deserve a little treat. I saw a girl on TikTok say it, why are you giving yourself a treat? You're not a dog, right? Why do you need it? That snatched me, okay? I was like, woof, I guess, you know? So it's one of those things, you don't really think about it, and then when you realize how much you're doing, it kind of just like hurts your feelings. So I would like to hurt everybody's feelings along with me, because if I have to suffer, you do too. But I just really, 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 really need everybody to logically think about that. What could you do? Because this is just coffee. This does not include anything else, right? Imagine if you had somebody calculate throughout an entire year, if you are like an average American, okay? And I say average as in like the average American is obese, right? Like at least overweight, but mostly obese. And I know people have an issue with the word obese because they're like, that's offensive. You can't say that. I'm like slightly, I'm big bone, I'm chunky. No. It's okay. It's a medical term. I'm not saying it to hurt your feelings. It's a legit thing, all right? My doctor, right? I used to be classified as like severe morbid obesity. Severe. It's okay. It hurt my feelings? Of freaking course it did. But you know what else it did? Woke me up a little bit. Made me realize, oh, I get one body. I get one. I need to do better things with it, right? So it's one of those. But if you had somebody to go through your finances, to look at all of the amount of money, not even every month, right? Like just on a weekly basis, how much money people are spending doing drive-thrus, doing food ordering apps, doing freaking like takeout restaurants, going into restaurants, in for coffee, is this, that, everything else, right? I'm not including getting groceries because obviously like you have to have groceries. I'm saying these extra conveniences that are a little too convenient, a little too indulgent. If somebody were to go through what you spent in the last month, for 1 month, if somebody were to go through an average month for you and see and calculate how much money you were spending all over all of these things, would you be embarrassed? Because I know I freaking would be. I would be embarrassed about it. I would be like, oh, because I complain, I'm like, oh, I'm broke. I'm poor. I don't have enough money for these things. Oh my God. And you always wonder like, why are all these people doing all these fun things, but I can never manage to do all of this stuff? It's because of this. Because they're not doing this. They don't give into it. Okay? So let's collectively agree as a unit, maybe we need to stop doing these things, okay? It's not healthy. I'm not saying you can never have a coffee again. I'm not trying to be psychotic about it. I'm not saying you can't have like a nice restaurant date sometimes, okay? But more often than not, we should just be doing our stuff at home, making stuff at home, getting groceries, and making stuff at home, okay? Thank you. This has been a PSA by Amanda. Okay, hi, this is now the second update within the update. I just wanted to touch on really, really quickly here, the weight loss plateau that I talked about at the very beginning of this. So I'm very open. If anybody has like questioned things, I'm very open about like my weight, my journey, whatever. Most of that's posted on Instagram, but I'm trying to be more open about it here as well. So I literally had been stuck at a weight loss plateau for like literally weeks. It's right now, what day is it today? It's May 6th, okay, May 6th. So since the beginning, like basically the very end of March, beginning of April, I had been stuck at the exact same weight. And that was literally right at like, it wasn't quite 247. It was like in between, okay? So I've been stuck at about 247 and a half to 248 pounds. Been stuck with that. And I am on weight loss medication no matter what I'm doing. I was doing all these things, like I was talking to my doctor trying to figure it out, and nothing was working. She told me just to keep at it, said eventually like I'll get sorted out. If not, we'll figure something else out. And I didn't want to sit around and wait for the chances that it would happen. So I decided to take matters into my own hands. Like the most easy thing that I could have cut out like immediately was the drive-thru coffee. Obviously saving time, saving energy, saving money, saving calories, right? So with that, I cut the coffee out. I also added in doing like a HIIT workout every day, not like every single day, but I usually like 4 or 5 days a week I've been trying to do it. And since I started doing this, right, I started cutting out the coffee. Couple days into that, I managed to get back down because it was kind of fluctuating. So I was up at like a 249. I then started going down to that 247, right? Like it was like 247.4 was the lowest that I had gotten to, I'm pretty sure. And I was bouncing, I was right there. So I was so close. And this last week here, like the last couple of days, it has finally gone away. So I don't know what happened, if it was a mixture of me no longer doing the drive-thru coffees. I don't know if it was like cutting out more artificial sweeteners. I have no clue, but it's a mixture of the stuff. And point being, from 249 last week when I was still doing this, up until my weigh-in this morning, I'm now 244. So I have gone down. I've broken over that little plateau that I've been stuck at for like literally 6 weeks. Stressing me out daily, in case you're curious about that. And yeah, so I broke the plateau, which is a good thing. I have actually had a lot more like natural energy. I haven't been having coffee and I still have energy. So like that's a positive for me. And I would like to once again apologize for speaking so much. But like I said, you signed up for this when you started watching this. You could literally click out at any time. I would not know the difference. Anyway, without further ado, this is finally the end of the video. I'm sorry I ramble so much. Please go ahead, do your things, do the YouTube things, like, comment, subscribe, whatever. I'm gagging myself because of that. If you have other things that you want me to try, please let me know, because I'm kind of open for anything. So until next time, have a great day. Okay, goodbye.